Good evening and salutations, my B&B fans. That's really sad is that I've been saying this for a hot minute, right? As far as Hope using Steffi to deflect her guilt towards her initiating the destruction of her marriage. She kept just saying with RJ today, well, for a very long time, Steffi has always played a part in our marriage, and I even and what did she say? She was like, I've tried to ignore it and I thought that we moved past it, but I always knew in the back of my head that she was still there. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, if that's the case, why did you marry him? If you knew that he always is going to love Steffi in some form of way, why the hell did you marry him? Right? Because that'd just be stupid for anyone to do. Now, I kept sitting there saying, you know what, she's using that as an excuse. And I still do feel that way. I still do feel every time they were together, there was no way she was constantly thinking, still think that Liam's going to go back to Stephanie. I don't know. Just have a gut feeling. That's Monday. And then another 2 weeks that comes up. I can't imagine anyone living like that. Okay? So I don't feel like that was ever the case. I feel like they're trying to make it the case. They're trying to insert it like that was always there. When Liam's talking about Steffi with Rich, because Rich is like, all right, so what are your intentions, my daughter? And he bobbles around and stuff like that. I'm like, bro, you can't just answer a simple question. And the way he describes it, it's like he always loved her. He's always loved her. The way he describes it is like he's always loved her. Okay? So he backs up Hope's BS. And I still do use the word BS because it's like now they're trying to insert that. Because I've been watching this show for a while. And not once has she been like, going over Steffi's. I just want to know. I mean, like it's kind of late right now. It's not like she was ever doing things like that, but now, because of this BS thing, now it backs up her merit of her BS statement, and I am still going to say it's BS statement because now they're inserting it. Now they're inserting it. This whole conversation with Finn and Steffi goes absolutely nowhere. Nowhere whatsoever. Steffi's not leaving because she doesn't feel safe at the house. And she's also sitting there getting upset with him because, well, he hugged Sheila. What I don't like, what I don't like is him. I don't like Finn backtracking. I shouldn't have never did this. I shouldn't have. It's called being human. It's called being human. You have unresolved issues with your birth mother. Okay? I think that that's I think that that's allowed. I don't, the hug, yes, it was bad and stuff like that, but it's human. He's all like, oh, well, I shouldn't have sat there and trying to make her out some hero, and I shouldn't have sat there and said, cut her some slack. No, don't backtrack, because that's not what you're only saying that now because you want to try to beg her to come back. Don't do that. Stand by what you say, okay? I feel like at the end of the day, he can sit there and say, I'm going to cut ties with her. Yes, that's how I felt. Yes, Kelly is alive because of Sheila. Regardless of what anyone wants to say about Sheila, regardless of anyone who wants to sit there and be like, well, Sheila did this and Sheila did that. We all know that. Okay? But that's not within that statement. That's not within that sentence. That sentence is she's alive because of Sheila. Okay? Regardless of the stuff that she did, she is on this earth because of Sheila. Like it or not. Right? So I don't think it's unfound to sit there and have a bit of gratitude. You can hate this woman's guts, but you can still have gratitude for the fact that she stepped in when Finn was asleep behind the wheel as far as him watching Kelly. I feel like with some people, it's like, it's all or nothing, right? It's all or nothing. You gotta either hate this person all the way, or you gotta love this person all the way. And humans are much more complex than that. They're much more complex than that. So that's why it annoyed me when he was backtracking and stuff. He was saying, "No, cut her some slack. I shouldn't have treated her like a hero." No, you shouldn't have treated her like a hero. But in that instance, yes, I can understand why you treated her like a hero. Yeah, that doesn't excuse the leaving y'all two for dead, but it does say something for her stepping in. But I feel like people just want to discount it anyway because it's Sheila Carter. It's just like this is something I said yesterday. This is something I said yesterday when it came towards a certain level of bias. Look at Liam's situation, right? There's some people that don't like him so much that they don't really sit there and try to see his side of this whole situation because they don't like him. It doesn't really matter what his argument is. They're not going to like him anyway. So what he says doesn't matter. But it doesn't negate the truth. It doesn't negate the merits of what he's saying not being on point, especially when it comes to his friend. Now, at the end of the day, yeah, he is doing some griminess as far as going after his wife and everything like that. And no one's negating that. But everything he's saying as far as Finn being a danger, but Sheila, and then turning it back, that's all true. And I said this to last day, or I was talking the last day on live stream yesterday. He basically snipped to saying how much he doesn't like Hope. He's like, it doesn't matter what Hope does, he's never going to like her. There's a certain level of bias in that statement. And granted, I give him props because he's acknowledging that. But it skews his vision. Even if she does something right, it's not going to matter. And that's how I look at it when it comes to us, Liam. People don't like him so much that it doesn't matter what he does. I mean, granted, there's really nothing as far as like, well, it sucks and stuff like that. It's just how some people think. But I just look at it, and I guess for me, I try to take myself out of situations to some extent. And I look at GH, right? And I look at Nina. As much as I don't like Nina, there's times I have to sit there and step back and be like, this isn't right. This isn't right. She's on point. She has a point. I can see her side. Same thing with Spencer. As much as I don't like him, and if you've been in my live stream, you know how much I don't like him. But I'm able to sit there and step back and be like, no, Portia's just straight up hella wrong. Same thing with Liam. Also, I don't come, granted, even if I've been watching the show for a while, I still would think the same way. But it also does help from the fact that I haven't watched the show as long as everyone else. I don't have that certain level of hatred and bias in me. That's the same thing with like Nick and Adam on Y&R. I'm not hardwired to sit there and just don't like Nick like other people do because of all the transgressions that he's done. But I also do feel at the same time that I can give him points even if I don't like him. RJ was pretty much saying the same thing that everyone else is saying. Oh, you need to fight for your marriage. You need to sit there and just tear it up. It's not too late. In the model, I don't understand why they are giving these models these talking parts, but like, man, it's so awkward and cringy that they're watching them hit on people. It really is. Really is. There's nothing else to say about that. It's just awkward. But this is where we are, and this makes sense to them, and this is why they keep doing what they're doing. Anyway, I feel like that's pretty much about it. I can't think of anything else that wound up happening, so with that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank you for watching. Stay safe. If I missed anything, you know what to do. Come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll sit there and talk about all the soaps. And, yeah. And if you're not a member, join, because on the weekends, we're going to have our special on live stream just for members. So you definitely don't want to miss out on conversations that goes on there. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.